That's a word you don't say every day. Unrelated pants. If we check out that link, the exclamation SMB3, you can check out those links. Again, we got the first link to the bracket, second to the schedule. In case you miss any of this hot action, you can go check out the VODs. You can download the randomizer yourself and very commonly ask, yo, what the heck is even randomized? You can check it out right there. So we are off. The race is off and we are ready to go here. So for those who don't know what is randomized, the world order, the first 7 worlds, you don't know what order they'll appear, as well as what stages will appear on the map squares. So as you can see, we're starting off with a lovely, oh boy, that's funny. So again, the players have already predetermined their colors. Colors don't matter here. Again, we don't know what world, but we will be starting in our lovely, no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat here. You all are so hilarious here. So again, starting off in World 5's map here. Now, one thing to note here is that one unique ability that they won't be able to take advantage of, possibly. Well, we can't escape Boss Bass, obviously. But of course, they're going to traverse these worlds, and obviously your inventory is being very important because they're very valuable items. Hammers have a unique ability in the randomizer to break locks on the map. So those locks are typically secured by you needing to complete a fortress, one of the forts, or either some kind of stage in order to unlock it. And by starting in levels that have those locks, it's going to probably force a longer seed here. Now, as you see, both players literally flying in sequence here in tandem. Needing to get through this World 6-5, one of the few levels in the game that requires you to fly in order to get out of it. It's always about that bass. So, of course, not too much of an issue. No deaths here, but both players sitting at 4 lives. So far, so good. Now, of course, one thing to know is that power-ups, again, as I said, come very, very beneficial. So we don't know what these hammer brothers will drop. As you can see, GrandPOOBear, the first one to tackle the hammer brother, and it's going to award a P-Wing. Not sure which one it was. So P-Wings, again, very beneficial, especially when you start off with levels like this, because this is a very undesired level in the randomizer. Fortunately, it randomized to a star, so at least we can have about 5 seconds of safety here until the Starman decides to leave us. And again, a little treacherous here, and Raikou gets gobbled up. I'm sure no one likes that, but I'm sure for some reason the crowd is thrilled to see the first Nom Nom. Boss Bass not having it here. Oh, Raikou having a little problem with some deaths here with a Goomba. Paragoombas are not another one of those items, one of those power-ups that are really unfortunate. And of course, he's not too happy to see this one either. He was going here hoping to probably see a better stage, but nope, we have 742 here. So here we go. Again, very, very typical you'll see players when they're having to fight Hammer Brothers on the map. We don't know, first of all, which ones we'll see. So any occurrence of any of the brothers between the overworld map as well as in the levels could shuffle anywhere between the Fire Brothers, Hammer Brothers, Boomerangs, or the big guy, the Big Sledge Brothers. So again, they are playing the exact same seed. So we don't know what's going to happen. Again, exact same seed. It'd be a little unfair if they weren't. However, there are some unique things about the Mario 3 that is frame dependent, such as when they get the matching card game. That's all depending on what frame they activate on, as well as, you know, various item houses. So again, those are things that are part of vanilla. So they have the same luxury, whether it could be good or bad. But from a level standpoint and whatnot, you do that. So here we go. Yep, that's right. So Raikou picking up that star there. GrandPOOBear getting through our second level from World 7. Again, a level that requires you to put some blocks up there. If you're going to be a pro about it, you can always clip through it. Yep, those are the. Oh, yeah, the little Goombas inside the block, micro Goombas. Fun. So here we go. Again, Raikou trying to make his way up the tower to the upper portion of the World 5 map. Again, World Order is randomized. World 8 map will always be last. So untypical, atypical, not typical, very typical, some kind of typical. You'll see players going hopefully for a 5-up or at least developing a nice little healthy life count at the beginning. Because obviously in the randomizer, sometimes you see a level that's just too bad to play. You might take a quick death just to change your strat up, maybe take another route, maybe use an inventory item to make it a little bit easier on you. So again, very, very common thing that you'll see players do here. And especially when you have a map like this very early on, where if you take a death here, you don't really have any way to shorten the level up when you replay it. So again, there's our first instance of the matching game here. Now, of course, what you see on the matching game does not match your inventory. You won't really know until you actually touch your inventory screen and see what did you actually get. So GrandPOOBear not making any matches, gonna get a little peekaboo there as he goes on to 5-3. Just seeing the right world, wrong location. So again, Raikou not too far behind here. Again, very, very early. World 5 being the first world that they're going to traverse through, all 8 of them. Here we go. We got half a sun and half a sun inside the bounce on it. So biggie. Yes, death, as in die, perish, decease, and other choice GRE related words. POOBear gotta be a little careful here. It's a little dangerous in 5-3 because sometimes a randomly falling enemy can just body you. So you gotta be a little careful. Now Raikou as a player, he's a player that really does enjoy the matching game. A lot of times some of our players will take notes as to where items are. And as you see, they have a different layout. Again, that is frame dependent. So again, we have a few stages there. Yeah. So here we go. So GrandPOOBear having the fortune of having the right power up here, going through this particular fort that you would normally see in World 7. Another one of the levels, in fact, they've already gotten 2 of them, requiring you to fly in order to escape the level. So him already having a tail makes it easy. Don't be following me. Go follow these racers. Not me. I'll be alright. I sure don't mind. Now, of course, in the randomizer, you can also see one of the 3 hand levels you see POOBear going through. One unique thing about the randomizer is that all the hand levels will award the same item. So if you happen to run across it, you'll get it. And maybe it could be something like a hammer, a P-Wing, a cloud, or maybe something that is even more random. So it randomly awards a random item, the anchor. So one interesting thing about the anchor in the randomizer is that it gives you a random inventory item. You don't know what it will give you. Now, previously in the group stages, it was biased towards a frog suit primarily, or alternatively, a music box. But now with a new, since we're in the tournament phase and the bracket phase, we don't know what it will give you. But once someone decides to use it, which you'll probably see maybe if someone dies or they need to be big for, say, a Hammer Brother fight, we'll find out. So GrandPOOBear is going to pick up another 5-piece here. Raikou making his way out of that fort. Again, just about a stage, a couple stages behind here. So, of course, interesting enough, the giant, and by the way, for those who haven't been paying attention, and previously in the group stages, the giant blocks did not award a random item. Whatever the vanilla item was, is what you got. But now, it does award a randomized item. So Raikou also going to pick up that anchor. We don't know what it will be. We'll find out maybe if someone decides to use it. But of course, as they build the inventory, they may not have any need to use it. Again, having a decent inventory early in the game is pretty beneficial and probably almost required. So that your tour through this randomizer won't be as bad. And man, Raikou almost flew right into Boss Bass's mouth there. Now he's not going to go down for the power up. Never mind. Second chance. Again, Boss Bass respawns about every 5 seconds if you happen to kill him. And for some reason, if you don't kill him, you just run past him. Then of course he can just come back and catch you, which Ugh, yeah. Unfortunately, you see that he used the power up there, and it looks like he was only awarded a mushroom on the anchor. On top of that, you can see Boss Bass does take flight. The water is not Boss Bass's limit because in the randomizer, Boss Bass spawns based on your vertical position. So if you happen to be up in the air when that timer hits, that's where it's going to spawn at. Yeah. So here we go. Another chance to match, and Pooh's going to make his first match with a 20 coin and the mushroom. Wow, 3 for 3. So I'm pretty sure that POOBear has recognized what card it is. Most likely. Typically, if the layouts are static, but once you know the design of them, you can. Or maybe he's just really, really lucky. So he might do an inventory check a little bit later to see what he gets. Watch out for that chain chomp there. Oh, there's another one. Raikou going to catch up, going to be in the same world now. Oh man, Pooh's having problems staying big here and gets burnt to a crisp. Boy, he could not maintain any kind of power very quickly. So because of that death, Raikou's going to be just one stage behind right now. The sky's the limit. Oh, you funny. I'm going to put you on comic view. Well, so much for the host trying to give him some props. He just got lucky. No skill. No skill for the player, just pure luck. Alright, so of course, POOBear is in 1-3. Typically a level in the vanilla game that you would get a whistle. Part of the randomizer, whistles for the tournament have been disabled, so we'll award you a random power-up, and we'll find out that this time it's a P-Wing, which, man, POOBear is sitting with 3 hammer suits, a pair of P-Wings, and a cloud. Quite a destructive force there. Speaking of destructive force, we're going through our super tank stage, a level that you would typically see prior to your final Bowser encounter. Here, watch a step there. They want to run right into a wrench and get bodied. So you see Raikou going through the matching here. Trying to build up his inventory as well. Yep. And for those who don't know, there are two, Boss Bass and Big Bertha are 2 different players. They are 2 different characters. Boss Bass is the one that eats you up whole. Typically, we also used to call it Big Bertha, but they are 2 different people. Husband and wife, I guess. I don't know. The husband boss and the wife bass. I don't know. But Boss Bass eats you whole. Big Bertha typically has the babies. You'll typically see Big Bertha in the water. You know, swimming around back to forth, left to right. Maybe spitting out some babies out of her mouth. I don't know. So here we go. GrandPOOBear going through one of the World 5 levels, ripped hammer suit, didn't want it anyway. And of course, there's that same P-Wing that you saw POOBear get earlier, Raikou picking up as well. Yeah. So in the randomizer, now if you play the randomizer yourself, you can have the warp whistles. You can even randomize where the whistles take you to, as well as what worlds the pipes themselves on the world map can take you. So you just need to randomize your randomization. This randomizer can do it. So GrandPOOBear not having too many. Oh, went a little timid there. I see. I'm gonna call him out on that one. Oh, Peekaboo, guess who? Boy, that would have been a painful death if Boss Bass just got you right before you win the fight. So again, they are playing the randomizer in the 80% Warpless standpoint. No whistles because they're not in the game in the first place, and they must clear all 8 of the worlds in order to win the game. Now, of course, you see GrandPOOBear going through one of the lost levels. This is one of 8 levels that is in the game but not accessible in its vanilla release state. But because our good friend Fred decided to include them in there, throwing a little variety in there. Usually they're betas of levels that actually made the final release. So between the original version that was used in the group staging and the bracket version that is used right now, one thing that has been corrected, there's some random bug fixes to prevent some soft locks. You know, we don't want to have unbeatable levels here. So we didn't want to change the version in the middle of the bracket stage. The group stage, should I say. So that's been corrected. The anchor ability does not weight towards a frog suit so heavily. So it does have a balanced distribution as to what it will award. And because it was requested so much, there may be or might not be a slight increase of the number of boss bastards and suns you see throughout the randomizer. But I cannot say with certainty. I have no comment. So here we go. GrandPOOBear making his way through the 7-3 stage here. Again, Raikou pretty close on his tails here. I cannot confirm nor deny. Is there a link to the randomizer? There sure is, Bundat. If you type exclamation SMB3, you will see that fourth link in that blob of text. Will get you exactly what you need, my friend. Yep. So again, both players are on the same world here. Raikou is basically one stage and one hammer roller behind him. POOBear is going to take care of Roy. Again, HP for the Koopa Kids is randomized anywhere between 1 and 5 hits, as well as their properties, their physics, and their ability to stun lock you. Earthquake style. Thick windy %. Unfortunately, GrandPOOBear was going for the off-screen wand grab, which can save the falling. You'll instantly zip when the falling right there begins. But unfortunately, the wand decided to juke him. So Raikou, even though he was getting kind of close, I believe in previous races, Raikou always goes for end cards up to World 6. Now, unfortunately, if that doesn't pay off, you know, it does increase the distance. So sometimes we've seen races lost because of people going for sometimes too many matching card games. We've had some players who just like bump them. I'm just going to YOLO it and see what happens. So GrandPOOBear in the World 3 map has to make a decision here because pipes are randomized as to the destination. We don't know where the way out is. So for instance, you see Raikou picking up that hammer there. You know, who knows what he may have picked up in his inventory. That extra card could play in handy if he happens to match a hammer in his matching game. POOBear is taking a gamble going the backwards route, not knowing which pipe will take us over to the far right of the map where the fortress is. So while he's gambling, you know, Raikou is getting through that airship from the second world. Because again, we do have other pipes there. Raikou may have a different choice in mind. So POOBear is going through the beta of what would now be known to know as 1.5 from the original release game. Yep. Yeah. So for the vanilla, you have 8 total layouts per se in the game, in the end card. So you all who bought those Mario 3 Nintendo player guides, you had them right there in front of you. So typically when you have a level that has multiple pipe options, you try to get to the place where the most pipes are. So he's going to gamble here, going 9, 8, and back to the second fort in World 3's map to see if this will make him happy. If it doesn't, this gives a chance for Raikou to possibly pass him, depending if he goes the same route. Can I see your screen? Well, normally these players are told to play without knowing what other person's doing. So we have people on the honor system here because we don't need to cheat to win here. This is Mario community, not. I'm gonna leave it alone. See, I almost said something, dude. Yep. So we're gonna see what happens here. Raikou going that route. Of course, you see he's right there, so he knows where the pipe is. Only one pipe left, which is right below him. This is one of those instances where if you happen to have a double hammer, it would be very helpful right now. But Raikou going to, again, taking the same route that Pooh is going to take, so he'll make the same discovery in just a little bit here. Again, it actually results in a couple less stages to play. But dying will not help reduce that deficit. So he'll have to back that thing up again as GrandPOOBear is going to take care of the third airship. I'll blame technology. Can I blame Twitch for this? Okay, thanks. So again, interesting to note, with there not being any auto-scrollers besides of one of the hidden stages and 5.9, it presents new kind of speed tech that can be possible now on the airships that otherwise you wouldn't be able to do. So you can take advantage of having P speed and whatnot. Hey, guess what? There's Wendy. He's going to fire kill Wendy. Again, Wendy doesn't really have any jumping issues until you start taking some hits. So, unfortunately, you all, Wendy will not be as much of a threat as you all would love her to be. I'm so sorry. You'll have to try again next time. Yep. So, POOBear will be heading over to his 4th world. Raikou needs to play catch up here. Might want to think about, again, he's a little behind here. And so far, we haven't had too much item benefit besides the hammer, which we'll probably use in a bit. He's going to play this stage here. Now, GrandPOOBear moving on to the World 6 map. Again, a chance to cut off the front third if this pipe randomizes right above the 4th stage. And unfortunately, it does not. He's going to use his hammer here to crack the rock. Again, a typical thing you'll see in a Warpless run of this anyway. Rip the one up. Fade away to nothingness. Again, P-winging. Ooh, Raikou, glad he had that health there. So it's very, very common to see players use some kind of power-up prior to maybe a fort or either a hammer brother because you just don't know what to expect. You don't necessarily want to just take a death just to play peekaboo in the level. Now, Raikou does have I believe he does have a 1 hammer edge on Pooh right now, so again, that could come into handy later. We just saw in a race earlier there a chance where someone could have had a very, very short World 7, but they used a hammer right at the end of the world prior. So a World 7 that could have turned into, say, a 2-minute world turned into like an 8-minute, 9-minute world. A very, very, very big chance. Again, in the randomizer, not knowing what is in front of you. Sometimes do you take the gamble, sometimes you just play it safe. So POOBear going through another one of those lost levels, as we're going to call them. Not too much happening here, just run right, watch out for a couple of enemies, and that's it. You know, I'm not trying to point out vanilla forts here. You know, Fred gets hassled enough for a randomizer randomizing to a vanilla spot. It can happen. Trying to cut the guy some slack. So Pooh's going to cloud. He's not wasting any time clouding. He is trying to make sure he wins because, again, for those who don't know, this is single elimination. We are done with the group staging. And there's another hammer there, so POOBear going to get return his investment 100%, getting that hammer back he used earlier. Unfortunately, Raikou, in a bad situation, never want to be having to fight any hammer brothers, especially fire, when you are little and you have to deal with the water, because poor little Mario cannot. Okay. Oh, I almost get snipes there. So again, another one of the lost levels. This level just literally goes straight up and win. No enemies, just a single power-up is the only obstacle. How many butts do I have? As many as I need. That's all that matters, right? So right now, POOBear does have the lead right now. Raikou about to be done with the 3rd world. Again, he's trailing a little bit here. Again, he needs to be careful. You know, he does a lot of matching games here, and you know, I really hate to see someone. You know, I don't want him to get too far behind. I want to keep it close. You know, for entertainment purposes, of course. POOBear showing off his knowledge of being able to speedrun this level, not having to worry about it. Again, it does have a slight advantageous position to know the level design, knowing how to traverse through them, especially in levels where enemies may not matter as much, you know, bouncing up a certain way. So Raikou's gonna be done with Wendy, GrandPOOBear ironically taking care of Boom Boom. So Raikou will now join Pooh in World 4. Again, Pooh is on the last third of the world now. So Raikou needs to start making the moves here. Again, we keep an eye on what worlds are coming up. He knows that we still have a short World 1 map lurking. We do have World 4. Chance for a hammer to cut that world in half. We do have World 7 lurking. Again, World 7 can definitely shift it around, not knowing exactly how to get through it yet. So here we go. Does Raikou know where Pooh is? No, our players do not know where each other is. They are playing without seeing each other's screen. They have no idea. So GrandPOOBear in a perfect situation here to go for the clip on 7-1. And going for third try. Let's make it for the fourth try. Can I hear number 5? Let's just settle for sub 10 at this point. Number 7. How about number 8? Alrighty, 8 is great. So he's through again, 7-1, levels like 7-1, 7-6. Giving you opportunity to clip on 7-6's sake, you can just fly over with a P-Wing. Sometimes if that's a level that you have a P-Wing in your inventory and you may start the level little, you may just go in quickly, take a death, and power up, or on 7-6 you can just use a P-Wing and fly over it. First 8th try. So again, as you can see on pool screen, again, autoscroller is being removed from most of the game. So our fast airship is more like our kind of speed up and slow down airship now. Watching out for our wrench guy. So again, POOBear does have the lead here by quite a bit of stage. POOBear is just one stage away from the endless level. Raikou about not quite halfway through it. But again, him having that hammer advantage right now, again, that can't come and play in later on in this match. Remember, whoever wins this is going to move on to round 2. The loser of this is out of the tournament, unfortunately. So here we go. Raikou again doing more matching here. Again, he needs to be careful about doing too much matching here because we can't afford to lose this one now. The last thing he wants to do is sit here and match and get items that will not benefit him. So again, as he's doing matching, GrandPOOBear begins to pull away even more here, moving on to his 5th world. So again, Raikou having to deal with double fire, but fortunately, having that free hit, staying alive here. So he's halfway through, again, playing all 8 worlds here. And we're going to see what will be the 5th world that they'll have to dive into here. And we do have World 7's map. So for Raikou's sake, he'll have to hope that Pooh will have some trouble navigating through this world. And he'll hopefully have a better chance to kind of reduce his deficit. Of course, he doesn't know where he is anyway. So GrandPOOBear takes the first pipe, again, not requiring a level, and sees that he's locked behind the 3, 4, and 5 stages. And typically in World 7, you play in the fashion where you play the least number of stages to try to open up another option to try. So he's going to go back to 7-1 and see where that pipe takes him. Now this level in the last race today could actually have been completely shortened if someone had a hammer. We had both of our players not having a hammer, and the first pipe took you right to the left of 7-9, which could have skipped almost the whole world. So you see POOBear, knowing that he may know he's doing well, and he just says, forget the end card. I'm just going to keep going. This is how some players play. Sometimes that leads to a win. Raikou going to cloud over that second fort there. Can't blame him on that one. Yep, so that anchor is a random power-up. We don't know what it is. Well, actually, we know what it is. Pooh did use one earlier, and it happens to just be a mushroom. So that's going to take care of Boom. So Pooh is still trying to find out how to get through here. At least try to get a route here. POOBear not having to worry about lives. Raikou picking up another one right there for clearing that level. So this will open up potentially 2. So he'll be able to take care of the Piranha. Again, this Piranha stage is not randomized. This Piranha stage will always be here. They may have some randomization of the enemies instead. I mean, we only have a few flowers. So a music box, might be nice early. Raikou, unfortunately, in a situation where he has to do a clip with the tail. Now, it is not impossible, but it's much more challenging. POOBear, meanwhile, found a dead end, so that path will not work. So he's going to try the other pipe and see if we can get some victory here. And, oh no, that whole path is just bunk. So he have to go all the way back, unfortunately. Because those just loop to each other. Joy, joy, joy. Dead end and the wraparound. So he's going to have to traverse back all the way around to where he started to go in the beginning. So what's interesting now is that he'll have to try another gamble between, does he take 7-3 to 7-4 or 7-3 to 7-5? He has to play at least 2 more levels. Meanwhile, Raikou is still trying to get this clip here. Now, after a certain time frame, it becomes a time loss where it would have been much quicker to simply just play the level as intended. Again, this clip is possible, but it's extremely more different because when you jump in the air with a tail, you have a different set of physics after you jump. So I'm not sure if he has any inventory items that would have allowed him to go simply to just small Mario or Fire Mario, but it's definitely something that after, 100 Nintendo seconds, you don't want to keep going. Finally, 110 seconds in, Nintendo-wise, he gets it. Again, that is not what you want to see happen. That's not time that he needed to lose. So there you go. Who's going to clip through it? And so Raikou needs to make up time here. He needs to really think about not playing any in-card games. I know he wants those hammers, but he knows he probably lost a lot of time there, being in the wrong power-up state there. So here we go. GrandPOOBear trying to get through here. Still trying to see if he's going to make the right choice here. Let's see if this is the right path. Otherwise, we're in trouble. And he has gotten to the right side of the map. Finally, glad to see that. So, fortunately, that was the right choice as opposed to going through 7-4's route. Did you notice the interesting little running in the air that he did right there? Pretty interesting. Again, as you can see right now, sometimes those who run this game use them. They may have a little muscle memory issue where they're expecting certain enemies, and of course, a Nipper is not an enemy you can jump off of. Star does kill Boss Bass. Indeed it does. Of course, Boss Bass does respawn after about 5 seconds. So it's going to hammer it up here. Again, we don't know what power-ups are going to come. He wants to try to keep a hammer for Bowser, of course. Bowser will obviously be the quicker kill with the hammer suit. Is it playing as Waluigi? No, it's Mario. I promise you. You just may have had some problems with washing the clothes with the wrong color clothing. That's all. So the sun not a threat as it goes to the sunset in the background. Yeah, let's be running. These guys playing on hard. Well, most of our players are probably playing on. We have players that play on emulator, and we have players that use flash card, so like an EverDrive, things like that, to play on their consoles. Who unfortunately losing hammer time there, getting through our fortress from World 8 here. So Raikou again going to have the challenge of trying to figure out how to get through this, and he does the same thing that Pooh did, which is to traverse, see that, and then just run away. Unfortunately, we know from Pooh's experience that that is not going to be a successful choice. Yep, so yes, so if they were to clear a matching card game where, say, a mushroom gave you a hammer in your inventory, if they were to play another in-card game or the same one, every hammer would give you, every mushroom would give you that hammer in the matching. So again, it's one of those things where, especially if you happen to clear an in-card game and you see a hammer, say a mushroom, a very common item, gives you a hammer. If for some reason you lucked up and got the same board twice, hey, you can double your hammers and double anything else you would have gotten of interest. So again, Pooh skipping the end card, using the music box to just go ahead and get up out of this level. So again, Pooh, moving on to the big guy, who is indeed have a little games, only is a 2-hit boss. So, relatively quick kill there. So he will move on to his 6th world. Moving on to 6 out of 8 worlds to play here, maintaining that lead. Raikou, unfortunately, trying to get through here. He's going to be disappointed in a few minutes as he realizes he's going to be on the wrong path. That's the unfortunate thing about a randomizer. Again, you logically try to see what the best options. You want to go where the most options are, all that good stuff. But unfortunately, sometimes the math doesn't work for you, you know? It's like you have an 85% chance of doing the right thing, but unfortunately, that 15% will usually get you a lot of times. So is the randomizer. And sometimes you need that YOLO. Just say, you know what, let me go with the lowest odds, and it just might pay off. Because there's no room for error as we are now here at this state. So you see GrandPOOBear in the World 4 map. Again, a level that having a hammer will cut this level in half. Again, one of the advantageous things of having World 4's map a little bit later, and having a hammer at all, for that matter. So again, GrandPOOBear is going to take the whistle exit. There's no whistle, so you're going to get guaranteed an item. And of course, a fire flower. Nice to have in case you have some rough luck, die, need to get quick size really quickly. So again, we got 1-1, little nipper action. So again, you see a coin ship there. You gotta love it. Of course, if you see a coin ship, it's a guaranteed item. Don't know what it will be, but it is a guaranteed item and could be a valuable hammer, maybe a cloud or a P-Wing. That's Blue Oreo. Yes, Blue Oreo. So Raikou back on the path to success right now. Going through 2-1 stage here. Gotta watch out for that Goomba. Whoa, boy. Bodied by the hammer, but got the size back very quickly. Little whip action. Double whip action. And a water with a Juggum's Cloud, allowing him to skip any non-auto-activatable world, or stage, should I say. So he, again, using that cloud right then and there. Again, a very smart play, you'll see them. Because obviously, if you use a cloud and you die, you're placed back to the last place Mario completed a level, or used the pipe. And so by using that cloud right into a hammer brother with a star, pretty much guaranteed to be okay. So again, going through the first fort right now in World 5, Poohbear's gotta be a little careful here. He should be fine. A lot of damage there. But of course, I mean, seriously, who dies on Boom Boom? Who would die in a minute? Let's put it that way. So we see a little chain chomp running off the screen from Raikou. Again, some of these chomps are, the chains are unchomped. So Poohbear is going to be forced to have to deal with a matching game here. Again, he's pretty well off right now. So Raikou on the right side of World 7, trying to get out of that to join Pooh in the World 6 map, which is World 4. But unfortunately, he's about to be done with it. He's headed off to the fortress here. He's shorter than you remember. Now, see what's happening. He's a little compressed. He's just been compressed. He's alright. So again, having a P-Wing for an airship, just flop. No threat. And of course, our Koopa Kid picking up some of that growth hormone there, a little bit thicker. But he's dead. No problem there. GrandPOOBear losing frames, jumping for the wand. You should know better. Unacceptable gameplay. Raikou, again, trying to play catch-up here. He's going to have to really do some serious good movement here. And unfortunately, he's going to have Poohbear make some mistakes in order to make up this deficit now. Because Poohbear is moving on to his 7th world. Again, this is single elimination now. This is indeed single elimination, so we cannot afford too many mistakes here. Raikou just a couple of levels, but again, he is falling quite ways behind now. So having a hammer here will shorten this world here. He checks the inventory and he is out of luck. So he'll have to play 1-1, 1-2, and 1 fort. Regardless if he wants to or not. Again, nice little easy level here. Of course, the only threat really is the sun here. Gotta watch out here. Don't want to get messed up by these little mini Goombas. So he's alright. I'm doing... I don't know. It's just a thing you always say. I'm as big as a big can be. So Raikou taking care of that world, going to move on to his 6th world now. Again, about a world and change behind right. Not looking too good for Raikou right now, but you never know. GrandPOOBear has a chance to clip again. And of course, he makes up for that 8th try with a 1st try. Took it long enough, bruh. I mean, you can't expect him to jump in there. I mean, seriously, Poohbear has no legs, so expecting him to jump is already a stretch of the imagination. So, alright, so again, he's going to just cloud. Again, when you realize that you're on your 7th world and you have clouds, he almost decided to use one there. So it is slower to jump for the wand because the character has to, when you fall down back to the king that you saved, you have to traverse from wherever you are to the bottom of the screen. So if you jump higher, that is farther to fall. You know? So a prime example, put your hand straight out in front of you. Imagine if you're holding a ball and you just drop it. Now, raise your hand up higher and drop that same ball. The ball has farther to traverse. You lose time, you lose frames, run, ruin, reset. You know how it works. And now you know you can share it with your grandkids or something one day. It's like, woo, I learned it watching that one randomizer race show there. We gotta be a little careful here. I want to get cheap there. just having a stare down there for a split second. So Raikou make it through our auto scrolls. It's gotta be kind of interesting because our auto scroll levels, when they have no longer property, sometimes have their own challenges with a lot of blind jumps and whatnot. Because Raikou having that tail, that whip action, being able to traverse slowly down without any threats. You dropped the ball in your face, I'm sorry. Medic. So POOBear just going to finish up his last castle here, and he'll be heading on to World 8. Couldn't tell you that now. I'm not a specialist in that field, but I would recommend you ask Jeeves or maybe bust up web crawler, Lycos search engine using your Netscape 3.0 web browser. So Lemmy is a one-hit kill here, so not even a concern. Yep. Alta Vista boys, I see it. So GrandPOOBear will be falling down towards his final world here, trying to solidify his win here to move over to Group 2. So we have a blue screen error kind of on GrandPOOBear. Gotta love Fred, our developer. Without Fred, by the way, if you don't follow F. Coughlin, FCOUGHLIN, he is the developer of this randomizer. He also made the Zelda 1 randomizer, both which have had tournaments here on Speed Gaming. So I must say, if you don't follow him, you need to do so, because he has provided hours and hours of entertainment just for you all to watch this tournament, as well as tons of us playing it on our own streams, or offline, or trolling your friend or your enemy or whatever. So GrandPOOBear on World 8, again, not knowing what pipe will take us to the screen where Koopa is, and he gets stuck. He has no hammers, so again, he'll have to work kind of hard now to get out of here. So he is going to go backwards. Now, of course, the optimal place to be on World 8 is on that dark screen, because that's where the most pipes are. Better chance of getting yourself over to the screen where Bowser is. But no guarantee, just better maths. All right. Now, of course, interesting to note here, Raikou has a lot of hammers here and clouds. So even though POOBear is still trying to get through World 7, you can see how that extra hammer and stuff can help him out a lot. Now, again, Pooh may be able to traverse all the paths, even if he ends up with the last choice being the right one, before Raikou manages to catch up, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, hammers do not destroy locks and vanilla. That is a unique feature of the randomizer. Again, if you actually download the randomizer software yourself, it is a toggleable option. So you're not forced to use that. And of course, POOBear gambling correctly and is going to be just one level away from victory. So he's going to go through Navy here, Tanuki Teddy Ruxpin style here. And unfortunately, it's not going to be good enough for Raikou to catch up here. So here we go. So POOBear taking care of the last Boom Boom he'll see. Raikou trying to get to World 8, finishing up the last airship in World 7. And here we go. So GrandPOOBear, does he have a hammer? He does indeed. So he'll be able to take care of Bowser as quick as possible, so long as he doesn't body. I expect a clip here. Good. You still haven't recovered from your 8th try yet, so don't think you all that yet, bruh. Raikou making his way to level 8 here. Again, regardless of the fact here, we've got 2 pretty good times here. Looks like GrandPOOBear is going to probably end up with like probably a pretty high 45 at this rate. Trying to go for that clip here. No, not probably about 45, 30. We'll see how it works out here. So long as he does not get hit and loses his hammer suit. So GrandPOOBear will be the winner. Wait, it's not over yet. He could like crash his game or something, or his toeless legs or legless toes could kick the console or something. It's not over yet. F. Coughlin. So GrandPOOBear, congratulations. He has finished with official SRL time of 45 minutes and 21 seconds. 45-21 for GrandPOOBear, pulling out the win, moving on to round 2 in this single elimination portion of the Mario 3 Randomizer tournament. So congrats to him, Yada, all that good stuff. Again, Raikou doing really good. I mean, interesting enough, this time would beat a lot of other times. It's just, you have relatively fast C's, good items, and of course it can go very fast here. Mr. Pooh Bear.
Big John.
So here's the problem though.
Yes.
It took you 8 tries to get a clip. I'm not impressed.
Man, that was I tell you what, that seed went way better than it could have for me. I mean, that seed was rough.
Man, no, you should have been here in the early race. That seed was rough, man. But nevertheless, man, you got through, man. Was there any pressure? Knowing you're losing, you're gone.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course there's pressure in this stage, and especially in a randomizer tournament, because I don't think like anyone's really favored, and that was like one of those ones where you use your hammer really mattered. I was worried that I didn't have a hammer for World 1 because it came up in 7, and I was just like hoping I'd get one more hammer. I used them all earlier, and yeah, I was really worried about that. That was definitely a really interesting, tough seed because there wasn't a lot of hammers given out, and there was boss basses. I felt like everywhere in the first 4 worlds,
I wonder how that happened. I have no idea.
There were so many boots all over the place.
No, you can blame Fred for that one. I had nothing to do with that one.
Yeah, but I mean that was a heck of a seed right there. Super fun. And then the way World 8 shaped out, like that could have gone anyway too. If I would have taken, because I usually like sit in the world with the 4 pipes, and I'll try to unlock all 4 pipes. Like I would do the fort there in World 8, like in the Dark World, but I decided to go back because I knew the lock pipe was already used, so that could have played out way differently too.
Now, by the way, did you just become a professional all of a sudden at the matching game, or did you just get mad lucky, just getting match after match after match?
I got mad lucky on the first. Maybe it was the second one actually. I got a few matches. No, the first one I got pretty lucky on my second try. I've actually been really lucky in general in the match game so far in this tournament, so knock on wood that continues to happen. But yeah, that was kind of pure luck there. I wish I could have filled out the second card before World 1. I kind of stopped playing it, and then I got caught with it twice, so I was like, all right, well, I'd like to finish out the card because I think you get the same item from both match games, so I would have got one more hammer and would have had one for World 1, but didn't get to do it. So
yeah, Raikou was definitely trying to stock up on us, and that's typically gameplay for him to do a lot of matching. So
yeah, it was. I almost lost my last match to Jabum, and he was going very minimum match game, minimum hammer brother, and we kind of talked about it, and he kind of convinced me in some ways that might be the way to go. Shout out to Raikou right here, who's using the frog strats.
Yeah. That's what the people want, man.
That's what the people want. I don't blame them. But yeah,
dude, they want a frog only tournament for that map, though.
I mean, I'm sure we could get 4 people to sign up for the frog only tournament.
Oh yeah. Look, because it's been asked in the chat, people are curious about what is different between the bracket and the group staging. So what has been, there were some issues that we have potential soft locks. So we can't have that, enemy spawns, forcing certain enemies. But other than that, the main things that were changed were the anchor not favoring frog all the time. There is a balance now, no frog only, or like a 10% chance for music box. But now it's anything goes. And of course, also, there may or may not, I cannot confirm it, an increased occurrence of boss bass and or the sun, but I cannot confirm nor deny that.
I can confirm that there was certainly more boss basses than I've seen so far in the tournament. A couple of those levels where he showed up too was like really, really killer. So I got really lucky to just kind of avoid him a couple times.
Yeah, the crowd is calling like forfeit, denied, banned for Raikou not finishing frog percent. But he does complete a time again, 49:59 officially. So breaking that sub 50 again, a good time, but yeah, you get a good time, and so unfortunately, we got a player that's just a little bit better. Unfortunately, that's what happens. So we're going to get him in here to join us. Raikou, man, Mr. Ryder, what's up, yo?
I am so sorry for letting you down.
Dude, it's not about me. It's okay. It's the thought.
They wanted the frog suit, man. I wanted it too.
No, both in this race and like at the end of Bowser's Castle, I'm so sorry for taking that last hit. On the very last phase too.
Boy. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Right, you had a little issue, man. You had a little difficulty on this one. Tell me about what's up, man. What do you think?
Okay, so there were 3 factors that caused this. The first one is 30th try 7-1 clip, which should never happen.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you this. Did you not have an inventory? I don't know. Were you just so determined to get that to say, you know what? I've got a mushroom. Let me make it a little easier on myself.
I think I had I wasn't sure of my P-Wing count. I probably should have used a P-Wing when I saw that level, honestly, because that's... Wait, no, you can't P-Wing over that one. I was thinking...
Yeah,
not that one.
You can P-Wing over the other one, 7-6, yeah.
The other big factor was I kind of took the wrong way in 3. I was initially going to, because of all the difficulty I had early, I was going to gamble on the pipe on the east side of 3. But then when I hit, I think it was either a death or a hammer brother on the other side, I figured the bridge would be at the point where I could just go to 6 and then 4 and then take the rest of the pipes. Not committing to the gamble in World 7.
What'd you do in World 7? World 7 was rough. I think I played every level in World 7.
I did not. I did not play 2. What I did was I went up to the island with the first fort. I did everything there.
Yeah, okay.
Initially what I was planning on doing was like gambling on the bottom island, which is what you do when you think you're behind, and I just didn't want to commit to it. Yeah, the reason why I didn't commit to it is because the end cards were actually really nice. There was a hammer and a cloud. So I figured that the item advantage would be enough, but apparently I'm just bad at this game.
That's a tough seed, man. That was a rough seed.
You know, it was interesting because you did have a little edge on with the hammers and the clouds, but taking that path choice, World 7, gambling, should I go this way? Should I go back? And man, it happens. Sometimes YOLO options that lower odds, you just don't usually go for it, but sometimes going for it might flip the result around.
You have to when you're an underdog in the match, and that's something that if the end cards were less favorable, then I 100% would have done that. But the fact that I was getting a hammer and a cloud, another factor is in the very first world when I got that. I'm trying to remember what was in 5-3. I know it was something terrible, so I went back. So I decided to do the fortress instead, and it was 7F2, and I was like, why?
Say, man, it happens, man. It happens. But I tell you what, I think you all did both good. I mean, it stinks that you lose a race with a sub 50 time. It's just, It just happens, man, and that's the way the randomizer goes. And
I'm used to it. Like, to give you an idea of some of the crazy stuff that's happened, because I've been doing a lot of races recently, and there was a race that I had last night where Kevin 856 got a 40-39, and it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I've seen some of the races. In fact, speaking of that, a lot of people have been asking about the software. If you want to play this yourself, you can type exclamation SMB3, and a lot of players are doing these races. These people are addicted to this stuff. It's like free legal drugs. I mean,
it's really fun.
Like, I checked the schedule like 2 o'clock in the morning, like, yo, can we make another seed? I'm like, oh my God, these guys need to go to sleep. They're just stuck on this stuff. And again, it can become pretty addicting. Again, it's basically endless replay value, you know?
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
I'm actually opening up another room as we speak.
You see that? I can't. You know what? Get off this mic. I'm tired of talking. I'm holding up from his next game here, obviously. So
no, it's okay. It's
and
okay.
I know Pooh's streaming away. You know, he's got to go get on that all forts. You know, that's your GDQ submission, right?
Yeah, I am gonna submit all forts for GDQ, and then me and Mitch are actually submitting co-op Warpless. So
you know, are you submitting another category?
Yeah, and Randomizer, of course.
You know what's funny? I'm actually submitting something GDQ with both of these people potentially. Maybe the Mario 3 Randomizer with Pooh, and then potentially this Mario versus Luigi Lost Levels race as well. So wouldn't that be interesting?
That would be really hype. I also submitted for the Randomizer.
Everybody wants it, man. It's gonna be like a 25 way. We're gonna have everybody in the whole stream room playing random. Sounds good to me.
Mostly I submitted with the intention of being a backup. I mean, look what happened for the Mario Relay.
Yeah. I'm gonna be there doggone this time, I tell you that.
You're gonna be there
on my hands.
You're gonna be, and from what I've heard, there's also some sort of plan to do like a Warpless relay in the practice room one day that week.
You know that's gonna happen. That's automatically happen. But of course, if you haven't followed these two knuckleheads what you waiting for? Again, obviously these guys are obviously all about that 2D Mario. You're going, you know, of course, Raiko, he's doing a whole lot of other stuff too. You know, POOBear, blah blah. Who doesn't know POOBear, blah blah blah. You know, No Legs himself, the master himself, Dram World 1, 2, 3, Panga World, Mario Maker, blah 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 blah. His resume is too long for this website. So, and of course, Raiko, what else, man? What are they gonna see following you?
If you follow me, I am currently working on Donkey Kong Country 3. I am a 103% runner. I've been trying to get 103% into GDQ for about 4 years now with no luck. But I think I've got a decent shot at it this time, just because there's not going to be a lot of Donkey players running or going to SGDQ. I also play not only this randomizer, but I play a lot of other randomizers as well. You'll see me play the Zelda 1 randomizer, the Zelda 2 randomizer, occasionally the Link to the Past randomizer, although not quite as much. But right now, my main focus is on Donkey Kong Country. If you want to see me play Mario stuff, I do that on Mondays.
Luke got a schedule. That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, man, that's where it's at.
Let me take some notes here.
I do Zelda on Thursdays. I do DKC on Saturdays, and Sunday is my casual RPG day.
There you go. If you all need a bulletin agenda, you got it from him. So make sure you check him out, of course, to give Pooh some fair time. Hey, GrandPOOBear, if they happen to follow you, what should they expect to see?
Stuff that's borderline for the new TOS. That's what I'm gonna say.
All right, so that means nothing but We're going to have Care Bear Adventure speed runs to instill good family values.